Hey guys! So, I'm thinking of making this a vlog of sorts in that I do it daily. Or at least semi-daily. Except I'm not sure you could call it a vlog because, well, you're getting video sort of, but it's not really me in the video. I'm not sure if you're supposed to have you in a vlog. And you can't really call it a podcast because there is video of sorts. So I'm not sure where this category would come in, but we'll call it a daily vlog just because. So I had a really good day today in that I found out that the graphic design project I was freaking out over was not due, and the test in art history 2 that I was freaking out over actually turned out to be game show style, and I'm guaranteed at least 40% of it is going to be A-, low A- because we got 3rd place out of 3, but the 3 groups got A's, A-, and low A-, depending on also the essay, which we're doing on Wednesday, which is going to count for 60% of the test. So I have more time to study for that, and I also am guaranteed at least, I think it factors in at like 35% of it. So it's still possible to flunk, but I don't think that's actually going to happen because I did know quite a bit of the answers. Actually, I was very bad today, so I will be studying. Anyway, so yesterday I did a snake, and I'm thinking of doing... I'm thinking of really trying the Chinese dragon again. The Asian dragon, or Eastern dragon, I think it's. So, the snake, I want to cross the screen like this, and I think I shouldn't go across the screen like that, because that makes me think snake. Maybe if I... I would expect a dragon to do something like that. He's flipping around... Hey, you know what? I think it actually started on my sketching pencil. Sweetness. Flip, 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 and woo! I think that's good. And let's actually have him come in here like super big. We'll have him come from off screen this direction. So we're gonna... I think we got a general idea of how we want that to go. I don't know if that's actually going to look good, but let's try it out. Animation colors. Let's do animation here. I'm not actually going to have a background in this one again because I'm lazy. Let's go ahead. I love this adjust levels. This is a lifesaver. Let's adjust the alpha lower. Unfortunately, there's no way to adjust the alpha back. You're stuck with how see-through you make it. New level. B. Apply. Cancel it. So we've got our line here. And of course, frame 1. Ooh. If you can hear piano and or siblings in the background, I apologize. That will happen a lot. Coming in from the back here. Say you'd have the back of the head like this. Like he just came in and then turn my onion skin on. And I should save. I always forget to save scene. It doesn't save automatically unless you've titled the scene. Here we go. Just give it a little bit of a form here because I have no idea what I'm doing. I probably should have looked at videos again, but I looked at them yesterday. I'll probably look at them again tonight when this horribly fails, but I'm finding the watching the videos is making me think too much snake, so I'm trying to go off of my feel of them and less what I'm seeing. If if that makes sense. Okay. Got our slinky like form here. It's a good thing I work sketchy because I think 2 times out of 3 this recording program really slows down my program to the point where getting a complete circle would be physically impossible. Actually, no, it seems to be working just fine as long as I'm not drawing too fast. It does slow down the program and it does get a little frustrating, but I'm pretty good at compensating. We're gonna go ahead and save this, and we're gonna save level as just to make sure. We've got a copy here. Dragon. They're good. And it's good. I'm not sure what's that from. I do have a habit of quoting movies, so just be warned. Random movie quotes from everything. And, I'm beginning to realize I probably should have a general character design. I'll probably work on that after I've got the overall sketch in here. I am quite liking this circly look. But I want to have, details. Which I will then probably create only in a sketchy fashion. Also, that'll give me opportunity for some motion blur, which will make this thing look more like it's moving, since I've been basically making more like a trail type effect. Ooh. Okay. Although I think these lines here are going to help with that. Going to make it look like it's moving just because they're doing stuff. Something's changing. I feel like I should start tapering off the tail in a sec. Let's give it two more frames. Let's start making the tail slightly smaller. If you guys have ever seen some sweet animations of Eastern Dragons, can you stick it in the comments? I would love to look at it. I know I've seen some sweet ones, but or at least Eastern style dragons, not necessarily straight Eastern dragons. One of my favorites is probably the dragons from Avatar: The Last Airbender. They've got some really good ones. Okay, I think I'm gonna start tapering the tail a little bit now. Also, if you guys have animations of your own, please link to them. I absolutely love looking at other people's work. It's how I figure out what I'm doing in a weird fashion, or how I get ideas for ways I could do things. You can never look at too many people's work. The more people you look at, the more you're going to grow as an artist, as long as you actually pay attention and don't just look at it. Okay. I think it'd probably take 3 frames for this tail to show up. Cough is almost gone. I am so looking forward to it being gone. And you know, I thought this was a circle coming forward, but I'm actually going to make it a circle going back. Because if it, like, it's going back and then it comes a little bit forward there. And this is going to be a wingless dragon here, but I have done some with wings before. It's actually way harder to match the wing beat with the body motion, partly because it's like when the wings go down, the body goes up, but the ones I've had trouble with in the past, it's been because they have such a long body. When the wings go down, the body goes up, but only the section of it attached to the wings, and then you've got kind of a ripple pattern going through the back. And I'm not very good at ripple patterns. I tend to deviate too much, and then I end up with a very messy, like somebody, like half the people decided not to join in on a wave type messy. This thing is getting small really quickly, so I might have to come back in here and mess with it a little bit, but we'll pretend this is exactly what we planned. Again, if anyone has suggestions for future animations, please share them in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys would like to see. I also ran out of ideas, and honestly, when you have absolutely no inspiration for what to draw, it gets frustrating. I've been trying to incorporate backgrounds a little bit more recently. I tend to leave the background off because these daily animations aren't supposed to be super detailed or super cleaned up. They're more of an exercise, as I've said before. I should probably start numbering these too, now that I think about it, because I think right now I've just got them labeled time-lapse, or no, real-time animations. So I think I'll start calling it Animation Vlog 1. This technically is day 2, but we'll call this day 1. So welcome to my first vlog. Oh, that's saved, so let's save the snake to, well, ooh, let's turn onion skin off so we can see what's, ooh. You know, that's really cool looking. Ooh, it's gonna be really cool. I think when I get this design, there's gonna be like spikes on the back or something that I can have twisting around. Ooh, that could be fun. What if I had the head turn all the way upside down at one point? Okay. First things first, I have to get the body motion going right. I think I've got it going back in space. Okay, this should be the tail here, so this part should be getting thinner actually. I might be changing things too quickly and I'll have to go back and kind of in between during cleanup. Little guy here. I forgot to do the indication of form back here, so let's go ahead and add that back. This is probably one of the most helpful things that my art classes have taught me. And the sad part is I don't even remember what it's called. The lines that indicate form. If anyone wants to inform me, if anyone wants to inform me of what those are, like, feel free to put it in the comments. I would Google it, but I'm having too much fun with this snaky creature, this dragon. Oops. You're behind. I do need to get better at doing things on purpose. I do have a habit of winging it and seeing what comes out. This is probably going to be really fast, but ooh, really fast. First let's save. Let's go ahead and put this on 3s. Let's see how that looks on 3s. Well, for one, we lost our thing here, so let's do that, and then we're actually going to turn that off. So, play. Okay, it's too slow on 3s. How's it look on 2s? And a bit fast on 2s, so I will probably be messing with the timing a bit. But I am liking the way it's moving. So let's put these back on 1s and get back to my fun stuff. Oh, here we are. I wonder if the tail's moving a little fast. He just likes like a worm. Got a worm flying through the air. Okay, I'm gonna need one in between these two, but I'm gonna draw it first and then I'll make an in between. Let's go ahead and move this one down. Make an in between because onion skin is awesome. Okay. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna do a lovely thing that happens. See. You press this and you press reverse. Now they're in the right order. But we also need to kind of delete these so I can put this one as 16. Enter, and this one is 17, and now they are all in the right order. Yay! Save. And control save. And I don't really need to save the palette. I did find out that thankfully saving your level does save your palette. So saving your palette is a little redundant if you save your level often. Now if you change the palette and not the level, then maybe you'd want to save the palette and just ignore the level. But since I rarely change the palette when I haven't changed the level, I just go ahead and save level and we're good. Choo 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 choo. And you know, I wasn't planning this first, but I think he's going to get bigger again as he comes over here. He's coming back towards us. So we're going to get to see that tail again in its nice full size. means that I'm going to have to pay attention to the head when it comes to character design. What I might end up doing is designing the character and then going, there is no way in heck that I want to draw this over and over again today. I do have to finish an assignment today. I've got about an hour left of Bleak House, a BBC miniseries to watch before my senior capstone, which is basically you've survived college, now here's a class to make sure we've ground our values into you, because I go to a Catholic private university, and so we do have the core concerns or core mercy concerns. If anyone's heard of Mount Mercy, cool. I don't know. We're not very big. The Sisters of Mercy is a pretty big organization, but Mount Mercy itself is a very small and not well-known university, I would say. We just recently got university status in the last 5 years, which is saying something. And then I feel like he's going too straight there. Here's our Bob. There we go. So being a new college or a recently declared university, we still have some things in the gift shop that are marked college, and we have a lot of people, what they've done is they've just taken a Sharpie and marked out college and put in university, which is actually quite hilarious. And I think that some of those may be official. It's like, we're not a college anymore, we're a university. I think it would be very embarrassing if we were to ever get back to college status, because I think there are requirements or size requirements or something. But we keep growing, and it's actually getting a little annoying in terms of housing. Like, they're having housing trouble trying to figure out how to house all of the different students coming, because we are not really designed to have a lot of students at our university. They did not plan at the small women's college that used to be. It used to be an all-women's school, and then they have since expanded. We are no longer all women's. So, but originally I don't think they were ever expecting to get over 50, and now I don't know how many we have, but we do have I believe over 50 majors, so obviously we have over 50 students. But they're talking about putting 4 people to a room next semester. And I don't have to worry about this. I live with my parents because my dad works there, and I live less than 30 minutes or something away. So there really is no point to living on campus. But for some of the people there, those rooms are tiny. Like, they're less than 7 foot by 7 foot rooms, and they're planning on putting 3 people per room. I think it's just nuts. That's way too many people and way too confined a space, and I feel like they're going to start getting in trouble with the fire codes if they're not careful with how many people they put in. They're having to open houses. Like, they have some off-site properties that they own, and they're opening those to seniors. So we'll make it through somehow. So I'm getting pretty close to the end of this dragon here. Still gotta pull the tail up front here. But the head's already gone. It's mostly just getting the tail back up here. And gotta be careful not to pull it up too fast, because that is a considerable distance away if you think about it in terms of perspective. And I feel like this is totally going to look like a worm until I get this design on here. So we'll see if we can fix that by the end of the day. Save again. And getting smaller. I really should be practicing probably human animation. I'm doing, my senior thesis is about, it's going to be an animation, and it's mostly human animation. And so I feel like that's the thing that I'm avoiding the most right now, is having to deal with things related to my thesis. So I'm animating a dragon instead. Now, granted, I don't really need to be done with my senior thesis until next year, so I am given some room to procrastinate, although it's not really what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to put this on twos and see how it looks. Let's go reframe twos. Turning onion skin off might help. I quite like that. So we're going to save, control save. No, we're actually going to go ahead and leave this program open, but Clip Paint Studio. I love this program. It's really nice. But I don't think that's really the size I want. They got this really cool one, like 690 by 20,000 pixels. But I feel like that's too much too. Let's switch this to inches. What do we got? That's quite a bit of pixels. Which is what I just made, and so I just made a second one. That was brilliant of me. There we go. Now, I'm thinking the snake's probably, or the dragon's probably like that long, and we'll pretend that he's straightened out, even though that would never actually happen. Whee! Every time I say we, all I can think of is Hamilton. You know, Charles Lee part. Instead of me, he promotes Charles Lee to be his second in command. I'm a general. Whee! Yeah, he's not the choice I would have gone with. Probably one of the best parts in that show. Although I quite like the which part was it? There would have been nothing left to do for someone less astute. He would have been dead or destitute without a cent of restitution. Started working, clerking for his late mother's landlord, trading sugar cane and rum and all the things he can't afford. That one has a really nice ring to it. So we're gonna give this kind of a probably more of a Western dragon look, even though it's an Eastern dragon style in terms of body, because I draw mostly Western dragons, and I don't really look at Eastern dragons a lot. And of course I have to make it hard for myself and give the guy a horn, because what dragon doesn't have a horn? That would just be weird. Ugh, I accidentally used the pencil there. I'm gonna erase that. That looks nasty. I always use the pen in this program because the pencil's got some annoying textures on it. So I just use the pen as my pencil. Now I've got Hamilton stuck in my head. I watch an artist on Tumblr, Third Child Art. Seriously, go look her up. Literally third as in THIRD, child as in child, young human, and art as in art. She has some of the greatest artwork I have seen so far. She does storyboards. And she's been working on a original storyboard series recently called Doommates, which I am dying to see the 4th episode, but I don't think it's come out yet. And how I originally discovered her is she made storyboards for the song, it wasn't No Good Deed, it was Defying Gravity from Wicked, and from there, she has made storyboards for a couple from Hamilton, and she's also made storyboards for more from Wicked, which I am so psyched to see, but she hasn't released them yet. So I'm basically just watching my Tumblr like a hawk, trying to catch these as soon as possible. I think that's too big. There we go. No, I need something a little more regular there, because that would drive me insane. So I guess you can't really call these vlogs either, because I don't think I'm necessarily talking much about myself, so that's not really in the style of a blog. I guess it's just daily videos. Hopefully I can manage these dailies, and if you guys want to see the time-lapse, let me know. I will post them if I get a lot of people saying they want to see them. Currently, it takes 2 to 3 hours for Blender to render the longer video out in a time-lapse, so if they are not requested, I will probably leave it to not doing that. Because I don't think I can upload to YouTube and have Blender rendering at the same time. I think that'll slow down my computer too much. So I do not like that. Let us pretend that did not happen. That was nasty. I want to have something along the back, because I feel like you could have some really sweet twisting action that would just really work with something on the back. So let's just how about fur? Eastern dragon with fur. That's not weird at all. But it's just sketchy. I have to say, I like the tools way better in Clip Paint Studio than in OpenToonz, but if you've ever tried animating in a program that doesn't support any kind of timeline or X sheet, you know that it's really nasty. It's not even like animating on straight paper, where you can have kind of have the timeline in your head, and you can have your onion skin, your light box working. In this case, you would have to change the opacity every time you want the light box effect, and it's not fun. I used to animate in Paint Tool Psy, and now that I have an animation program, my animations are getting a lot more complicated, which I must admit is making it a little harder to do them daily because I've been doing longer animations. But at the same time, it's pushing me out of my comfort zone and forcing me to get a little more detailed with them, and that is definitely something that I need, because I am not good at forcing myself out of my comfort zone. I tend to stick with what I know, and that's that. So these scales are totally not even, but let's just pretend they are, because I'm just trying to get a rough idea of what I'm looking for here. I'm gonna have just straight skin for the rest of the body. He needs a tail. That's better. We're gonna not give him... He's not gonna have arms or legs or anything. He's just like a snaky creature. Or maybe I should give him arms. Let's make a new layer for these arms and see what they look like. I'm on eraser. I'm also in the process right now of making my keyboard shortcuts universal to my programs, because right now I tend to have a different keyboard shortcut for every program, and it does tend to mess up my workflow a little bit. If I were to have feet, I think this is approximately what it'd look like. What if I... Let's merge with layer below. Now my feet are alone. What if I do this and move this back here some? Yes, apply the transformation. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's not bad. I think I like that. I'm not gonna have wings for sure. Now I have to actually keep track of these legs. Let's keep the head simple. won't worry about colors until we decide whether or not we're fully cleaning this guy up. So we're going to save that in... Okay, why is there nothing in my folder? It's being testy. There we go. New folder, we're going to call this CareDes. And this is dragon, but we want to save that as a PNG, please. Save, yes. So, click Paint Studio done. Let's pull that up. Oops. There's CareDes and dragon. Ooh, he's pretty. He's on the other screen, so you guys won't be able, he's right here, but you guys won't be able to see him while I'm drawing. The nice thing about a dual screen display is I don't have to worry about covering my drawing at all with my references. Okay. Now we're gonna completely ignore my earlier guides and we're just gonna draw over this lovely worm. Let's play through this again, make sure I still like it. Oh yeah, I still like it. I think at that point, he's done a flip around. Like, I feel like right about there, he's doing a spiral right now. And then right about there is when he's up and... That could be really cool. So we're gonna set this back on ones. Give me my C, apply. In general, I use raster layers. I think for we're gonna save this level as, sorry, I want to change this to red, so I want it to be a different level than my original in case I don't like that red. Dragon, red, save. Okay. Now we can make these red so that we can distinguish between levels. So I can't see it at the moment, but I'm going to assume that it is working correctly. Okay, apply. Let's see how that did. Yay, it's all red. Oh, I forgot to turn the whole opacity thing down. Oh well. When you adjust levels, if you look, it saves your settings of the last time, so you have to press reset if you don't want your alpha and everything to be where it was before. So, now, let's see, he's got a kind of a, didn't really do many studies of this character, but his face is kind of like that. That's his head. Oops. Okay. That doesn't look right. We're gonna erase that and start that over. Pay attention to circles, Adrian. Circles. This is why we have guides. The muzzle is out here somewhere. We're just gonna... I think the muzzle would be probably over here, but that's covered. So we're gonna do this and this. And hopefully it's moving too fast for us to see. Okay. Center line. where the belly scales start. Got a little bit of his face here. His horns, which... You know, I'm going to pretend those horns didn't happen in the design, at least for now, because that is super complicated. I'm a general. Whee! Yeah, he's not the choice I would have gone with. He wets his bed at the bottle and everyone attack! Attack! Retreat! Lee, get back on your feet! But there's so many of them. I'm sorry, is this not your speed? Sorry, I'll stop that. I am very much a fan of Hamilton. So... yes, you might get that on occasion. I'm going to have him start flipping around here. So we've got our center line here, but I'm going to have it go below him. And this is where our belly scales are starting to show through more. It does help that his head is hidden through a lot of this. Because I think that flip would be absolutely awesome. I think that's the head there. Oh yeah, I'm doing that wrong. That's the head right there. The head is actually visible in this scene, but we're going to twist it sideways a little bit and still start showing those belly scales a little bit more. And still start to flip him. That's better. Okay, by now his head is pretty much upside down. And by now his head is starting to come back up. So let's, there you go. I would say probably the only part, well, not the only part, but the worst part in Hamilton's, actually, spoilers, I won't say anything. Feel free to watch the songs. I think Hamilton, the Broadway show, is pretty much all songs, in which case you can literally listen to the whole show on YouTube. But they're starting to do copyright strike things and pull everything off. You know, I'm realizing that it might be hard to figure out what's the belly and what's not, so I'm going to start shading in the belly so we have a little bit of a distinguishing factor. There we go. Everyone attack, retreat, attack, retreat. Lee, get back. Deja vu. Like, this picture right here looks familiar. Maybe I was imagining it yesterday. He's pretty much back to right side up completely. But his belly is going to still be working on that flip back here. I feel like this isn't looking quite right. But we're going to keep going. And we... You know, I just realized that it's 7:37 and I haven't eaten dinner yet. Hello. I have a nasty habit of not eating when I'm animating, so I will eat after I'm done. I think this is where I started tapering off for the tail. I think that might help. Maybe if I... No, that's not looking right. Do that. Maybe that'll help. It look more like it's twisting around. I think I'm going to have him flip again over here. Let's do that. This guy just likes to flip. Oops. Tapering off for the tail here. That's right, I've got that lovely little tuft at the end there. Looking forward to that. Well, that did turn into an awkward time to spin. Oh well. By now he's probably right side up, but we're gonna have this, keep this look. And see, there's my tail, and so I can start putting the tuft on there. Yay! Let's turn up. pretties. And my dog is barking up a storm in the other room. So if you can hear that dog, sorry about that. For those who might be curious, she is a miniature pinscher. She is super old. I think she's like 20. Is she 20? No, she's 19 or 20. So honestly, as much as I love the little girl, I'm surprised she's still with us. She is quite a trooper. But her senses are going, so she will bark at practically anything. On the bright side, she tends to sleep through the night, so we don't get woken up by her a lot. Oops. The tail's all the way back there. Now, how far was... Oh, off, yeah. Oh yeah, so it hasn't been that long, so we're going to turn that back on. But now we're going to want it back here, our lovely tuft, which would be swaying against which direction the body is going. Wow. That actually did not move much in that tail. We're going to pretend the tail ended right there because I feel like that should have ended earlier. And we're going to make this a smaller tail as if it's further back in space, and hopefully that helps. A brush. Ooh. I'm a general. Whee! The biggest problem with Hamilton is I cannot sing it around my siblings because there is a plethora of swear words in that show. So I have to be careful the way I sing it around little kids. That's why I tend to sing it instead of the way it's supposed to be sang. I say he wets his bed at the Battle of Monmouth, and then it's suddenly child appropriate. Yay! This tail is getting a little bit cumbersome. This is moving really slowly. Maybe that's why it looks weird when it plays. I'm gonna just keep doing this and adjust the timing as necessary. Ooh. Oh. Oopsie. There we go. And now for the final flip coming up. I would say right there, he's halfway like this. So in that case, right here, we're going to want him to be kind of like that. But you can't really see it because he's so small right now. It's going to become more apparent as he gets closer. And ooh, here we go. Save. The dragon is like that. Oh boy. My brother is going to get Men in Tights stuck in my head. If you have not seen that, it is a movie that is really ridiculous, and I would rather not remember it. My dad is a fan of a lot of silly and or satirical movies that tend to do a lot of stupid jokes that I end up watching because he's watching them, but I do avoid them when possible. Things like Spaceballs or... Hold on. Okay, sorry. I was having trouble keeping track of where everything was. This tuft of hair should be getting smaller and smaller as it fades into the distance. And by now, he should be right back up. Right. I think. But he should also have just done a turnaround. So... I feel like it should look like that. That looks wrong. Well, if I do that, that's better. I think that's better. It's getting all twisted, and I'm beginning to think that this whole attempt at animating him with more of a character is going to be in vain because it would look really ridiculous with all this twisting. Chimney, chimney, chimney. When you're with the sweep, you're in glad company. I don't actually know that song. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Okay, we're gonna do something here. It's coming up, the tuft is like here. So we're gonna actually keep that there. And then we're gonna do a little flick when it comes out. I feel like that would look right. Then over here, cause it's twisting like that. So we're gonna try and get a lovely little flick in there. But I need to still be receding in space. I mean, coming forward in space. So we're gonna come back here. Brush down. And that probably did not work, but we'll see how it went. Okay, so this may be the most disturbing picture that we see, but let's look at it. You know, it actually looked like he spun. Let's reframe these to 2s. Save just in case, and it would help if I were to turn off onion skin. Woot! Okay, there are some spaces where I have too many frames, so it's stopping, and that looks weird. But other than that, I do have a dragon twisting around in space. Awesomeness! Okay, that's about as far as I'm gonna go for this animation session because we're nearing up on, we've passed an hour and 13 minutes, so it's going to start becoming a really big file soon and take forever to upload. So I'm going to stop here. I may do some more cleanup, in which case I will post the finish later. For sure I will post this work in progress on my Tumblr as my animation a day, and I will put the link in the description. Have any ideas you want me to animate, or if you had any suggestions for me, either for future videos, for tutorial series, or just in my workflow, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Sorry.
You got it in the last 30 seconds of the video. Say hi, Neek.
Hi. I was just grabbing my cup.
Say bye, Neek.
Hi.
Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Goodbye.